Welcome once again, everyone, to the Grace Center. If you have your word, turn with me to the book of Luke. Luke chapter 15. Luke 15. We're going to look at verses 8 through 10. Very familiar text to many. Very familiar text. I believe we have looked at this one time before at the Grace Center, but I believe it's good to look at again during this time. Luke chapter 15, verses 8 through 10. It reads as follows. It says in verse number 8, it says, "Either what woman having 10 pieces of silver, if she lose one piece, doeth not light a candle, and sweep the house, and seek diligently till she find it? And when she hath found it, she calleth her friends and her neighbors together, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the piece which I had lost. Likewise I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth." If you're taking notes on today, I am coming from the topic, a lost coin. A lost coin. I have this piggy bank that I have had for many years. It's like one of those tall plastic Coca-Cola type bottles where you can just put your coins in when you're saving up money. I have been doing this for a number of years, and a lot of times what I would do is that like during Christmas time or something like that, I just go and empty out the coins and go get other folk Christmas gifts, things like that. But I save loose change throughout the year. If I get change back from different stores and so forth, when I come home, I will put the change in my bottle. I will save up the coins, and it builds up over time. You will be surprised at how much money you can accumulate over time. Loose change you may find on the ground and so forth, pennies, nickels, dimes, and all of that. You will be surprised when you take your loose change, even when you get change back from the store, and you save it over time. You will be amazed as you save up your loose change. Here in this parable, Grayson, it talks about a woman, and she asks a question about losing one coin. One piece of her change. Now this coin, it was worth more than a penny, because back in those times, it was worth a day's wage. Okay, in the Greek, a silver coin is called drachma. Okay, it was worth anywhere between 15 and 17 American cents. So this coin, it was valuable to her. In other words, Grace Center, she could not afford to lose this coin. Now, the parable, it does not say if the woman was married or not, but in biblical days, these women, they will often receive 10 silver coins as a wedding gift. Okay, they would receive 10 silver coins as a wedding gift, and she lost one coin. Okay, so the parable says that if she were to lose a coin, if she were to lose just one coin, what would she do? Would she act like she never lost it? Is that what she would do? Would she continue in her day-to-day activities? Would she say, well, one day I'll simply get another coin? No, she didn't say any of that. But what she decided to do is that she decided to take action. She decided to go and search for this lost coin. Oh, hang with me, Grace Center. She didn't just sit around and say, well, one day I'll find another coin. One day, I'll just collect more coins. No, she decided to take action. She decided to go and search for this one lost coin. And the parable here, it says that if she lost the coin, the first thing that she will do is that she will light a candle. She will light a candle. She lights a candle because most likely there wasn't much sunlight that entered the home. And she wanted to make sure that she could see. So she lit a candle to help her find the lost coin. She lit a candle to help her find something that was valuable to her. It was something that she could not afford to lose. She had, watch this, she had 9 other coins, but she could not afford to lose one of them. The coin here, Grace Center, the coin is a inanimate object. It doesn't have any feelings. The coin itself cannot think, it cannot rationalize, and it has no emotions. But this woman, she goes searching for this lost coin. All right? And the lost coin, watch this now, the lost coin cannot think, cannot rationalize, it has no emotions. In other words, it cannot see, it cannot hear, it cannot smell, it cannot touch, and it cannot taste, but she goes searching for this coin anyway. Well, unlike a coin, we have our 5 senses, but although we have our 5 senses, there was a time when we did not have our 6th sense. We did not have the 6th sense called common. We had the sense of seeing and hearing and smelling and touching and tasting, but we didn't have that sense of common sense. There was a time when we were all stuck on stupid, doing stuff that we knew that we should not have been doing. We were using our God-given senses in a way that God never intended them to be used. We were seeing and looking at stuff that we knew that we should have not been looking at. We were hearing and listening to things we should have not been listening to. Some of us, we were smelling things before we put it up our noses. Some of us were touching people in ways that we should have not been touching. And some of us were tasting, well, let me leave that alone. Some of us have used our senses in ways that God never intended them should be. But we did not use that 6th sense called common. This woman here in the parable, Grace Center, this woman, she lights a candle and then she sweeps the house. Okay, she lights a candle and then she sweeps the house. In other words, she looks between every corner and every crack in the house. She looked between every nook and cranny. She looked under the couch. She looked under the mattress. She looked high. She looked low. She searched the cabinet. She searched her sandals. She searched her clothing. She searched every room in the house. And when she could not find it, what did she do? Well, she continued to search the house high and low. She continued to search the cabinets. She continued to search under the mattress. She continued to look at every nook and every cranny of the house. And when she could not find the coin, what did she do? Well, she continued to look high and to look low. She continued to search the cabinet. She continued to look under the mattress. She continued to search all over the house. And when she could not find the coin, what did she do? Well, she continued to look high. She continued to look low. She continued to search the house for this lost coin. In other words, she said, I'm not going to stop until I find it. And that's good news, Grace Center. No, as a matter of fact, that's great news, Grace Center, because that's the same way God did with us when we were lost. We were lost at one point in our lives, and God kept on coming after us. He kept coming after us, and we probably didn't want to have anything to do with him. But he wanted to have everything to do with us. He said, I'm not going to stop coming for you until I find you. Now, if all your friends are saved, maybe this message is not for you. If all of your neighbors are saved, maybe this message is not for you. If all of your co-workers are saved, maybe this message on today is not for you. If all of your family members are saved, maybe this message is probably not for you. You may want to check out if everybody you know, if everyone you are connected to are saved, maybe this message on today, it may not be for you. Maybe you want to tune in or check in and go to another church service on today. If everyone you know, everyone that you have in your Rolodex, if everyone that you have on your timeline, if everyone that is following you on Twitter, if everyone in your phone book is saved, maybe this message today is probably not for you. This message is intended to show individuals that they are not too far gone from God where God cannot find them. This message are for the ones who are either lost or they know someone that is lost. Let me say that again. The message today are for the ones who are lost or they know someone who is lost. Okay, watch this right here. In the text here, it's interesting that she doesn't go to her friend's house to go and search for the coin. And we know that she has friends because it talks about it in the text. All right? But she doesn't go to her neighbor's house to search for the coin. And we know that she has neighbors because it says it here in the text. But she starts the search in her house. Okay? She starts the search in her house. It's not outside the house, but she starts the search in the house. Because if it was outside the house, it would have been harder and more difficult for her to locate the coin. But since it was still in the house, it made it a little bit easier for her to locate this lost coin. Oh, stick with me, stick with me, stick with me. In other words, your loved one, your boss, your colleague, or the stranger on the street is not too far away from God where you cannot find them and God cannot find them. This parable, Grace Center, it should give us hope to know that it is not too difficult for the lost to be found. She started in the house. She started with who she already knew, with individuals she already had a connection to. Okay, and something else that is interesting about this parable is that the woman doesn't call for outside help in locating the coin. No, she doesn't call for help in locating the coin. I believe one of the reasons the woman does not enlist the help of others is because if she would have enlisted the help of others and received the help of others, if the coin was found, okay, if she called her girlfriends up to come over and look for this coin, and if they would have found this coin, maybe her girlfriends, maybe her neighbors, maybe the ones she called to help her find the coin, if the coin was found, they may have taken credit for finding the coin. Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe if she would have enlisted help and said, hey, come help me find this lost coin. This coin is valuable to me. If she would have asked for their help, if the coin was found, maybe they would have taken credit for finding the coin. Because if truth be told, you have some people who are greedy for the spotlight, and they will love nothing more but to take the credit. They may have looked under one couch. They may have opened up one cabinet door. They may have pulled open one dresser drawer. But if the missing coin is found, they want all of the credit. I got news for you, Grace Center, and that is, if God wants your help, He knows how to ask for your help. God does not suffer from low self-esteem. God does not suffer from depression. God does not suffer from anxiety. He does not stutter. He is not confused. Therefore, if He needs your help, He'll ask for your help. He is the owner of the team. And sometimes we need to let God be God. When God saves a soul, He's the one that deserves all of the credit. We're just instruments. We are just vessels that are sometimes used by God. But don't get it twisted. God is the one that deserves all of the credit. I'm almost done. Watch this. The woman in the parable, she does not enlist the help of others because they may have taken the credit. But there could have been another reason. There could have been another reason. She probably did not enlist the help of others because if someone else found the coin, they may have taken it for themselves. Okay, all right. If they would have found this coin, they may have taken this coin for themselves. This woman did not take the risk of asking for others because if she would have asked for their help, if they found this coin, they could have placed it in their pocket and walked out the door. Okay. You see, God loves you so much that He does not want to take the risk of someone taking you from Him. Because in the hands of someone else, they may just toss you around. In the hands of someone else, they may take you to places that you do not want to go. They may touch you in a way that you may not want to be touched. They may use you in a way in which you may not want to be used. And God is saying, I do not want to take the risk of that. He said, don't call on anyone else. This is a search committee of one. Grace Center, you are too valuable for him to take the risk of placing you in the hands of somebody else. You are valuable to God. And he said, you know what? I want to make sure that when you're in my hands, you're in my hands. That I don't want to place you in the hands of anyone else. Because they may use you, they may abuse you, and they may flip on you, and they may turn on you, and they may place you in the hands of somebody else. And God is saying, I want to make sure that when I found you, that you're in my hands and no one else. The text says that eventually the woman here, she finds this coin. She finds the coin, and the parable, it does not say exactly where she found it, because the details are really not necessary. Let me say that again. The text, this parable, it does not give us the details of where she eventually found the coin. Because the details is really not necessary. The important thing is that she found the coins. But the details of where she found it and how she found it and when she found it are not necessary. Only nosy people want all of the details. Only nosy people want to know the who and the what and the when and the where and the how. But the parable doesn't say where she found it, or how she found it, or when she found it, or what she found it in. The parable simply says that she found this coin. If truth be told, if the parable told us where she found it, you would probably not want to touch the coin. Okay. That was good to me. If this parable gave us the details of where she found this lost coin, many of us may not want to touch the coin. Oh, Grace Center, if your neighbor knew, if all of your family members knew, if your colleagues knew, if the mailman knew how God found you, where God found you, what he found you in, and who he found you with, they may just want to slide to the right and slide to the left and stay far away from you. If they knew all the details of where you were at when God found you, who knows what they would do? Who knows how they would treat you? Grace Center, I don't know about you, but I'm so glad that when God found me, I'm so glad that when God found you, that he did not release all of the details of how he found you, where he found you, who he found you with. Oh, if our neighbor knew how God found us, they may not even want to touch us. They may not even want to hang around us. See, right now you can see me, but I can't see you. And you may be like, well, Pastor, you're looking sharp in your black shirt and so forth. Oh, but let me tell you something, baby. If you knew where God found me, if you knew how God saved me, if you knew how he picked me up from where I was at, if you knew all of the details, you may not want to hear me preach on a Sunday morning. If I knew all of the details about you, oh, who knows? Who knows how people would treat you, how they would talk to you. You may not never get another phone call again in your life from your so-called friends if they knew all of the details. That's why I'm so glad that when God finds you, he won't expose you, but God will keep you, and he'll cover you, and he'll protect you, and he'll shield you. Why? Because God loves you, and he cares about you, and he's not going to put your business out there in the streets. He loves you just that much. The parable says it does not give us all of the details of where she found this coin, because the details are not necessary. The parable, this parable, it really shows you how much trouble God went through to save you. It shows us the trouble and the difficult things that God went through to find you. Not that it's difficult to God, because nothing is difficult for God. But sometimes we make things difficult ourselves. For some of you, he may have searched the clubs. For some of you, he may have searched the dope house. For some of you, he may have searched someone else's bed. But we don't need the details. The important thing is that God found you. And sometimes, watch this, sometimes when you find a missing coin, it's found in a dark place. Sometimes you may lose a coin and it's not right there in front of you. Sometimes it's behind something where there is no light at. Sometimes it's found in a dark place. It's found tucked away someplace, and you need a flashlight or you need to crawl up under something to find it. Some of you, Grace Center, that when God found you, he found you in a dark place. You were in a place where there was no light. And it may have felt like you was the only one in that dark place. Well, don't feel bad, because I got good news for you, and that is we have all been in a dark place at some point in our lives. And it may have felt like we were all alone, and that no one cared, because nobody called, nobody texted us. Nobody sent you a Facebook message. Nobody tweeted you. Nobody emailed you. It was a dark place. And you were wondering, is anyone going to come looking for me? I'm in this dark place. And then one day, a light appears. And your world isn't so dark anymore. And we all have been there. And if you're there today, I want you to know that hopefully this message will shine some light into your dark place. Don't ever feel like no one cares about you. Don't ever feel like you're not loved. Don't ever feel like no one is thinking about you. Why do I say that? Well, I say that because God loves you and he cares for you, and he wants to shine some light into your dark place. The woman here, she finds the coin, and what does she do after she finds this lost coin? Well, verse number 9, it says, and when she had found it, she calleth her friends and her neighbors together, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the peace which I had lost. In other words, now she calls her friends and her neighbors to help her find, or to rejoice with her, being that she had now found this lost coin. Now, let me just say this to make sure I'm very clear in the message, because I don't want there to be any confusion in this parable. It is not to say that if you know someone that is lost, that you should not ask someone to pray for that individual. That's not what the parable is saying, okay? So don't get it twisted. When we know individuals need prayer, oh no, let's let other folks know. Please pray for this person. Please submit a prayer request for this particular person, right? But here in this particular text, it's simply saying that she lost the coin. She found the coin. And when she found the coin, now she's asking others to rejoice with her. You see, when our loved ones are saved, when our loved ones come to God, when our loved ones come to all of their senses, even that sixth sense of common sense, when they come to recognize that God is God, oh, we need to rejoice with them. And it is okay to call everyone up and say, hey, my son, my daughter, my brother, my sister, my father, my mother, they have received Christ. They have turned their lives around. Will you please rejoice with me? They're having a praise party in the text. She called up everyone to let them know it is now time to rejoice. You see, she probably did not call them beforehand because she did not want to get distracted as far as what she was trying to do. Because a lot of times we'll get distracted and we'll lose focus and take our thing off of what we really need to focus on. But now that she had found the lost coin, now she can rejoice with others. But something else here in the text that I think we really need to look at, that's verse number 10. It says, likewise I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth. Now, I say that a lot sometimes when I'm doing the invitation, how I talk about where someone is saved, even just one person is saved and received Christ, that it's a praise party in heaven. Here's the text that backs that up. In other words, when one person, just one person, give their life to Christ, the angels rejoice. Oh, everyone is rejoicing in heaven when one person gives their life to Christ. Giving your life to Christ is the most important decision you will ever make. It's more important than choosing your spouse, choosing a job. That's the most important decision you can ever make. Why? Because that is an eternal decision. Okay? Eternal decision. When you give your life to Christ, what you're saying is that I'm placing my faith and my trust in someone that is higher than me. And if I were to leave this earth, I know that one day I will live forever in the presence of the King. The angels know that as well. You see, the angels see the glory of God every day. Every day they see the glory of God. As a matter of fact, when the cherubims go around God, all they say is, holy, holy, holy. Because every time they go around God, they see a different dimension, a different angle, a different side of God. They see the love of God. And they want others to experience the same thing that they are experiencing. So maybe the angels are rejoicing when even one person give their life to Christ, because now they are wanting others to experience the same thing that they are experiencing. So that's they're like, no, oh, you're going to see the same thing that we're seeing. Now you may have been wondering why we keep on saying holy, holy, holy. Well, one day you are going to find out. The text says that the angels in heaven are rejoicing. It's great, son. There are a lot of lost people in the world. A lot of lost individuals. There are a lot of people who may have a pulse, but they're not alive. If you want to give people life, we need to give them the gospel. We need to give them the truth. But we also need to pray for them. The word talks about how some of us, we may plant a seed, others may water the seed, but God is the one that gives the increase. When we're spreading the gospel, even by using technology, I don't know if I am planting a seed. I don't know if I'm watering a seed. The only thing I know is that in the end, God is the one that's going to give the increase. In other words, Grace Center, we need to do everything we can do in the natural, but we leave the supernatural up to God. Let me say that again. We do what we can do in the natural, but we leave the supernatural up to God. This woman, she lost this coin. It was valuable to her, and she went searching her house, up and down, high and low, to find this lost coin. There are individuals within our own homes, our own families, that are lost, that are valuable to us. And we need to keep on going after them. We don't need to just push them away. We don't need to give up on them. The woman here in the text, she had more coins. We have a lot of family members who are saved. But for the ones who are not saved, we don't need to give up on them. They're still valuable. Okay. They are still worth something. Even though the world may say you're not worth redeeming. You're not worth my time. You're not worth us even trying to bring you back into the fold. The woman lost this one coin and said, I'm not going to give up finding this coin in this house. It is here some way. And since I know it's here, I'm going to find it. You see, Grayson, that's the way God looks at us. He doesn't give up on us. We're valuable in His sight. Whether we think so or not, we're valuable in the sight of God. And He loves you so much that when He says that He will never leave us, nor forsake us, or abandon us, here's proof of it right here. Now, this is a parable But we can glean from this parable. We can learn and apply this message to our lives. If you know someone that is lost, don't give up on them. Don't give up on them. Continue to pray for them. Continue to encourage them. Don't badger them. Don't beat them down on the head with the Bible. Okay. Don't go around just quoting scriptures and throwing scriptures at them, but love on them. We are walking, living epistles. And sometimes people don't want to, they don't want to hear a message. They don't want to see a message. Sometimes people don't want to hear a sermon. They want to see a sermon. They want to see someone living out what they claim to be preaching. If you know someone that's lost, pray for them, but don't ever give up on them.